ticking of the clock on the mahogany wall is the only thing standing between them and the end of this 3-day fever dream. The boardroom, once a place of sterile logic and cold ambition, has been transformed into a wreckage of silk, oak, and the absolute destruction of professional boundaries. Jungkook's weight is heavy and undeniable, his hands caging Jimin against the cold surface of the table. He pulls back just enough to see Jimin's eyes, blown wide, glazed with a mixture of exhaustion and a terrifyingly sharp clarity. The manager is gone. In his place is a man who has realized that the empire he was building is hollow compared to the person he's currently holding. Jungkook's thumb traces the reddened skin of Jimin's jawline. He's landing in 60 minutes. Jimin, the boss's son, is expected at the hangar. The manager is expected to provide the quarterly brief. Jimin doesn't look away. He reaches up, his fingers damp as they curl into Jungkook's open shirt. Let him wait. He owns the company, but he doesn't own this room. Not for another hour. Jimin shifts, the friction of his skin against the polished wood, sending a jolt of heat through them both. He isn't the untouchable heir anymore. He's a man who has been completely, beautifully unraveled. He pulls Jungkook's head down, his voice a ghost of a whisper against his lips. Don't you dare try to go back to being perfect Jian Jungkook. Tomorrow, Jimin warns, his voice trembling with the weight of the last 72 hours. I won't let you. I'll haunt every meeting. I'll sit in your office and remind you exactly what it felt like to lose control. You're mine now, manager. That's the only contract that matters. Jungkook lets out a low, guttural sound, a sound of total, unconditional surrender, disguised as a growl. He doesn't just kiss Jimin, he claims him, his mouth a desperate signature on a deal that can never be voided. The air in the boardroom is thick, tasting of salt and expensive whiskey. Every movement is a frantic attempt to memorize the feeling of each other before the elevator dings, before the suits are straightened, and before the masks are forced back on. The rhythm of the afternoon sun shifting against the glass mirrors, the frantic pace of their final moments. Jungkook buries his face in the junction of Jimin's neck, his entire frame shaking as he reaches the point of no return. Jimin's fingers dig into Jungkook's shoulders, his back arching off the oak as he finally, decisively, lets go of the last of his pride. As they collapse into each other, the silence that follows is deafening. The audit is over. The takeover is absolute. 40 minutes later, the boardroom is empty. The papers have been restacked, the table wiped clean, and the air conditioning has hummed the scent of their transgression away. Jungkook stands by the window, his tie knotted with clinical precision, staring at the black sedan pulling up to the curb below. Behind him, the door opens. Jimin walks out of the private lounge, his cream blazer buttoned up, his hair perfectly coiffed, looking every bit the untouchable prince of the Park Empire. He stops beside Jungkook, his hands in his pockets. They don't look at each other. They don't touch. Nice work on the investors today, Manager Jian, Jimin says, his voice a smooth, executive silk that would fool anyone. Jungkook finally turns, his eyes meeting Jimin's for a split second. A flash of the lounge, the red light, and the mahogany table passes between them. A secret language spoken in total silence. "Thank you, Mr. Park," Jungkook replies, a ghost of a smirk playing on his lips. "I look forward to our next collaboration." The elevator dings. The audit is closed, but as they step into the hall, both men know that the real takeover has only just begun. The elevator ride down to the lobby is the quietest 60 seconds of the last 3 days. The digital floor indicator counts down. Asterisk, asterisk 4, 3, 2. And with every muffled asterisk ping asterisk, the corporate masks settle deeper into place. By the time the doors slide open to the lobby, they are no longer the two people who dismantled a boardroom table. They are the gold standard of the Park Empire. The black sedan glides onto the tarmac just as the private jet's engines begin their high-pitched wind down to a hum. The air outside is biting, a sharp contrast to the feverish heat they left behind in the office. Jungkook steps out first, his posture a masterclass in military-grade professionalism. He rounds the car and opens the door for Jimin. As Jimin steps out, his eyes shielded by dark designer sunglasses, his hand brushes Jungkook's for a fraction of a second. A hidden spark against the cold wind. The stairs of the jet lower. At the top stands asterisk asterisk Chairman Park, asterisk asterisk, a man whose mere presence can fluctuate the stock market. Jungkook feels the weight of the last 72 hours sitting in his gut. He's the manager. He's the one who was supposed to keep the air in line. Instead, he's the one who helped him rewrite the rules. Jungkook, the chairman, booms as he reaches the bottom of the stairs, extending a hand. His eyes, sharp and assessing, move from his manager to his son. "I've heard interesting things about the investor summit. High energy, bold moves. We felt it was time for a more aggressive strategy, sir," Jungkook replies, his voice steady, though his pulse thrums against his stiff collar. The chairman turns to Jimin, pulling him into a brief, patriarchal hug. "And you, Jimin, did you learn anything from Manager Jian, or were you too busy making his life difficult?" Jimin pulls back, a lazy, perfected smirk playing on his lips as he glances at Jungkook. The look is devastating, untouchable, superior, and filled with a secret that could burn the hangar down. "Oh, I learned a lot, father," Jimin purrs, adjusting his cream blazer. Manager Jian is incredibly thorough, his attention to detail. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. I think we found a very productive rhythm. As they walk toward the waiting motorcade, the chairman leads the way, talking about the next quarter's expansion into Europe. Jimin and Jungkook fall into step behind him. Exactly 3 paces back, Jungkook keeps his eyes forward, but he can feel Jimin right beside him. The audit is officially over. The files are closed, and the office is empty. But as they reach the cars, Jimin leans in just an inch, his voice a ghost of a whisper that only Jungkook can hear. "The audit might be over, Kook, but I'm calling a late-night board meeting at my place. 10 p.m. Don't be late." Jimin slides into the chairman's car without looking back. Jungkook stands on the tarmac, watching the taillights fade. He reaches into his pocket and feels the small, silver pen he swiped from the boardroom table, the one Jimin had used to sign the contracts before everything went to chaos. He taps the pen against his palm, a slow, dark smirk finally breaking through the manager mask. Asterisk, asterisk, day 4 starts tonight. The city lights of Seoul blur into long, shimmering streaks as Jungkook drives toward the upscale district where Jimin's penthouse sits like a crown jewel. It's 9:55 p.m. The manager should be at home, prepping for tomorrow's 6 a.m. briefing. Instead, he's loosening his tie and feeling a dangerous surge of adrenaline that has nothing to do with profit margins. The elevator to the penthouse requires a biometric scan. When the doors open, the atmosphere is a complete shift from the cold marble of the office. The air is thick with the scent of sandalwood and expensive candles. There are no fluorescent lights, here only the warm, golden glow of a fireplace and the sprawling view of the Han River.